Hello and welcome to the 741 channel. Thank you for stopping by. Today's going to be another video in the shed build series. Now in particular, I'm going to talk about the shed pad that you can see behind me. In the previous video, I talked about kind of the basic design of the shed, picked my location, and I'm still deciding whether I'm going to build it or buy it. But I had the shed pad put in anyway because I had a landscaper here building a paved walkway for me in front of the house. And while he was here, he gave me a discount on this work because he had all of his equipment here already for the other job, so it saved me a little bit of money. But even though I saved some money, this really didn't come out the way I expected it to. Let's take a closer look at it and you'll see what I'm talking about. So if you missed the previous video, the intent here is to build or buy a 12 by 20 shed and put it in this location. In the last video, I talked about why I chose this spot in my yard over other spots and the basic design of the shed that I want to put here. It's a good thing I'm not a landscaper because I thought this was the high spot and that the land was either flat or sloped down. And of course, over on that side, it's true. You can see that the ground was built up. But over here, it actually sloped up quite a bit. And I didn't really realize that that was going to be the case. And you can see the landscaper had to dig in to the bank here, and I put a tape measure on this, and this is about 16 inches or so from the base of the gravel there to where the land is. Now that in and of itself really isn't a huge issue. The issue is that the landscaper left this like this. Now when he first dug this out, before he spread the gravel, he mentioned to me that he was going to knock this back and kind of slope the bank back, but they ended up spreading the gravel and never knocked the bank back. Now the landscaper's done. He's not going to come back and do anything about this. Now again, that's sort of maybe my fault for not managing the job as closely as I should have. I was home when he was doing this, but I was working from home. I was on meetings and phone calls and that kind of a thing, so I didn't keep a close eye on him. And like I said at the beginning of the video, he kind of gave me a discount on this. So what I think ended up happening is that he got into this for a little more labor than he expected. And to kind of cut his losses, he just kind of left it like this. So really, I'm not mad at the guy for leaving it like this. I completely understand. However, I wish that he had said something, especially before he spread the gravel out, because I would have paid him an extra few bucks to kind of slope this out a little different for me. Because I think what I have to do now, in order to keep this from kind of eroding into the gravel, is I either have to dig this out myself with a shovel, because I don't have any kind of power equipment, or what I need to do is build some kind of a retaining wall here to keep this bank from eroding into the gravel. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go just yet. The retaining wall is obviously going to cost me more money to do, but I think it'll actually be easier. This is New England, and you can see that the ground is full of these things. So if I try and dig in here, it might be a bit of an issue. I think I might try it first and see what happens. And if I can dig this out to a reasonable slope, and then if I think I can get some topsoil on there and get some grass to grow, then I guess the problem is solved. The other alternative would be to go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get some retaining wall blocks and just kind of build up this corner. And I think we'll be okay. The one thing that he did do is he made the pad bigger than I expected. He was supposed to make it 14 by 22, but it really came out to be more like 16 by 24. So I've got some extra room on this. So that's actually working in my favor. Now the other thing I'm not happy about is if we take a look over here, you can see that he kind of ran out of gravel. So what he ended up using was the leftover base material for the pavers that he put in the walkway over there. Now he did say that he was going to come back and spread more gravel here for me, but he never did. He's all done. So again, that's up to me. Now, the other thing I'm a little worried about is I don't know if this is going to settle over time and this whole shed pad is going to end up going out of level. So really, by rights, I'm almost thinking that I need to build a retaining wall around this edge too. But again, I don't know. I'm not a landscaper, and I don't really have any experience with this kind of a thing. Okay, so that's really all there is to say on the shed pad for the moment, other than if you're going to work with somebody to do something like this, it's probably best to communicate a little better than I did with my landscaper. I don't normally hire people to do anything for me. Usually if I can't do it myself, I just don't bother. But in this case, this was just a little more work than I could handle by hand, and I needed somebody with some equipment. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I was preoccupied with work and things, so I didn't really come out here and manage the job, so to speak. And again, it's not bad, but it's not exactly what I wanted. So in the next video, you'll see what I ended up doing, whether I built a retaining wall or cut the bank back or whatever. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to leave a comment or subscribe, feel free to do that as well. If you'd like to support my channel in another way, please consider visiting my Amazon store, which is linked in the description below. Thanks for watching.